Hey everyone, today's episode is really exciting. It is the story of a very young dog named Jade who was lost in Yellowstone Park for 44 days, which is currently the record for a number of days a dog has been lost in the park and survived. This is a great story. I'm interviewing Jade as well as her owners and the author who wrote the book, Bring Jade Home. You can also find this interview on YouTube. And the cool thing about the YouTube interview is that you get to see Jade. She really hams it up in the show, so it's really neat. If you go to theinstinctiveaussie.com and look for this episode, you will definitely see the links in there to the YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is brand new. It's the Instinctive Australian Shepherd YouTube channel. I want to remind you that we have the opportunity to feature your special dogs on our podcast. Go to theinstinctiveaussie.com, scroll down the first page, and you'll see an orange button that tells you to record your story. I would love to hear your stories about what makes your Australian Shepherd special. Guests that are featured on the podcast get some really cool Australian Shepherd swag, some Instinctive Aussie swag. Speaking of Instinctive Aussie swag, go to theinstinctiveaussie.com and click on the menu item swag and check out our cool shirts and hats, all kinds of really cool branded Instinctive Aussie apparel and tchotchkes. I would love to run into you down the road and see your Instinctive Aussie t-shirt to celebrate the amazing breed that we know of as the Australian Shepherd. All right, everybody, let's get into the show. This podcast is dedicated to the celebration and preservation of the working Australian Shepherd. Your Aussie is descended from a proud and amazing lineage of hard-working ranch dogs, identified and cultivated primarily in the Wild West. Contrary to the breed name, the Australian Shepherd is actually an American breed success story. Only in America can a blue-eyed, scruffy dog rise from the dust of the American ranch to become one of the most popular breeds in the world today. The Aussie's beauty, brains, and incredible work ethic and almost empathic connection with their human charges make them unforgettable and pivotal members of the family. My goal is to help you understand this amazing breed, learn more about their heritage and their physical and mental needs so that together we can preserve the working Aussie by encouraging better breeding and better vetting of future Aussie owners, ultimately keeping Aussies with their families and out of shelters. Welcome to the Instinctive Australian Shepherd. Welcome, Australian Shepherd Nation. It's Jackie Tinker here with another episode of the Instinctive Australian Shepherd podcast. Today, I'm very excited to have three guests. I have three guests today, so it'll be exciting. As you know, I have covered books before, read books before, and we've talked to authors and interviewed authors, so this is another author group that we're going to be talking about today and talking with today. Their book is Bring Home Jade, the true story of a dog lost in Yellowstone. There's actually two books. There's the book I just told you about, and then they also made a children's book, Jade Lost in Yellowstone. Awesome books and super fun. This is a story of a dog that was lost for 44 days, I believe it was, in Yellowstone, which is the longest a dog has ever survived out there. And she was just a really young dog, and we're going to talk about her story in a minute. But I want to introduce Jade and her owners with you to you today. David Sowers is Jade's owner, and Laura Gillise. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
They live with Miss Jade, and they are the ones that lost her in Yellowstone. And we'll talk about that story, that accident that happened that caused that to happen. And they are the ones that found her and dedicated a lot of time in looking for her. And they met up with Michelle Caffrey, who is the writer of the books. So welcome, you guys. Welcome, Michelle. Welcome, Laura and David.
Thank you.
So let's talk a little bit about, the story, how this all came out. Kind of tell me how the book was made and how it came into being.
Okay, I think I get to tell that. It has to do with this is Michelle, and Laura Gillise and I have been friends since 2001, and she enjoyed my first book that I wrote, Just Imagine a New Life on an Old Boat. And when I heard the story of Jade, I was thrilled for her. I thought it was a great story. And then she contacted me and asked me if I'd be interested in writing a book about Jade. And I said, definitely yes. It's such a fantastic story. So that's how the book started. It took 2.5 years of research, learning more about Yellowstone, about Australian shepherds, and then interviewing all the people involved. So it was a labor of love. We spent a lot of time together and learned what we needed to tell the story.
It's a great book. I read it in one sitting, so I often do that with books because I'm kind of one of those book nerd people. But it's a really great book. You did an excellent job of writing it and sharing the story. It's good job. Good job.
Thank you. And the second book is the first book is Bring Jade Home, which is the adult version. And then the second book, Jade Lost in Yellowstone, is the illustrated children's version. And it's told from Jade's point of view, which I was dying to do. The first book is really about the people who searched for her. And the illustrated book is more about what happened to Jade with some educated guessing. We wish she wore a GoPro camera so we would have known exactly what she did. But we do know a lot of things, and obviously she made it. She's healthy and beautiful.
Yes, and I like the children's book has some ecological information and animals in Yellowstone, and it's a little bit on the educational side as far as that goes too. That was pretty neat. I like that a lot. So I'll show it to y'all, but it's backwards. When I show the video on here, it shows up backwards, but I'll put the links to these books and the podcast show notes so everybody can see them. So
thank you.
It's awesome. What made you think to do the children's version?
It was very natural because the publisher, FarCountry Press, specializes in educational children's books as one of their lines. They have a beautiful series called Who Pooped in the Park? And it's designed for children in all the national parks and central parks all across the country to identify scat and tracks, and they were beautifully illustrated. So it just made sense once we published Bring Jade Home to do a children's version. And Steph Lehman did an excellent job illustrating it.
Yes, the illustrations are beautiful. And as a former teacher who pooped in the park, kind of piques my interest as well. So maybe all my teachers will check that out. The illustrations are beautiful. And we were in Yellowstone last year, and, kind of brings back memories because you kind of recognize some of those places. It's really pretty. So let's talk about this story and how this all came about.
Now, who's going to tell it, Laura or David?
Laura and David.
Laura's much better at telling the story than David is, but she sometimes gets shy. So go for it first. We'll see how it goes.
Well, David and I were just starting the date, and you want me to go into it a little bit? I mean, how?
Yeah, share with us. Yeah.
And so I'm an AKC agility judge, and I was judging up in Billings and had a fun gig in Jackson Hole. And I was attracted to David because he had a 15-month-old Aussie and I had a 10-month-old Aussie.
That's how we met originally, actually, is I spotted her with an Aussie and I go, I got to go talk to her.
Yeah, so
True love.
I know.
Yeah, dog love.
So I said, why don't you come with me? You can, take the dogs with you and go sightsee, loves history. So we did that, and we were in the middle of our vacation, 3:00 in the afternoon, and David had driven all day. And I said, why don't you let me drive? We were heading back to Cody to our hotel. And we had taken his car, thank goodness, an Xterra. And I said, well, my big thing is you must crate your dog in the car. And so he had an airline crate, and Jade was used to sleeping in it, so she was fine. And we put that right behind the driver's seat. And then I had a smaller wire crate that I put my puppy in behind her. And so we exchanged driving positions. I jump in the driver's seat and I take off, and it's curvy between Norris and Canyon Village, and I'm following a small car, and the small car swerves out of the way, and I look up and there's a Dodge Ram pickup coming straight at us at 45 miles an hour.
Wow.
So I didn't have time to react. I just jerked the wheel, and unfortunately David took the brunt of it. And there was no
head
front.
On.
Yeah, head on, no front end on the car. I thought he died. And
Kid driving fell asleep at the wheel.
Yeah, 21-year-old fell asleep at the wheel with his mom and his brother and sister in the back. And so they got David out on the one side of the car and I was on the other. And it was amazing. A doctor showed up within a minute of the wreck and started speaking to David. And I could hear the dogs barking in the back. So I knew that they were okay. And they were trying to get a helicopter to get David out of there and an ambulance for us. And nobody was really hurt in the other car. They were okay. And so the rangers are like, don't worry. We're going to take care of the dogs. Don't worry. And I'm like, there's leashes in the back. Just make sure they're okay. And off David goes, to be put in a helicopter, and they're driving me. And
here I was flying over Yellowstone National Park, but they had me in one of those neck braces.
Yeah. Couldn't see anything.
I'm in a helicopter over Yellowstone National Park, and I couldn't see a thing but the ceiling. It kind of sucked, if you want to know the truth.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's another story. That's another book.
I think that was probably the least of your worries at that point.
Well, that's just something I remember. That's like the only thing I remember of the whole episode was that, for some reason.
Yeah.
It's always those strange little things that stick out.
It is. So go ahead.
So I get an ambulance, and it happened at 3:00. I finally get to the hospital at 9 that night.
It's because they started to take you to the wrong hospital.
Yeah, the Idaho Falls.
Wow.
And so I go in and to the emergency room and see he's alive. And the first thing he says to me is, well, how are the dogs? And I'm like, I'm fine, thank you. But, the dogs are okay. And it's automatically.
I've known
joking.
Jade longer than I'd known her at the time.
Yeah.
So.
Priorities.
How's my dog?
Well, and he could see you were there, obviously.
Yeah. And so I said, they're fine. Don't worry. The Rangers will take care of them. And an hour later, I get a call, and it was the Rangers, and David couldn't hear the other end of the conversation. I hang up with him, and David goes, what's wrong? I go, one of the dogs got away. And he goes, it was mine, wasn't it? And I'm like, yeah, it was.
My body, my car, my dog.
Yeah.
He doesn't
She came out.
He doesn't let me drive much now.
It was a bad day.
It was a bad day. But so that's the beginning of our story, and he was immediately panic mode. I've got to go find my
David
dog.
was really hurt. Tell her how hurt David was.
Well, I had a concussion. I had 3 broken ribs, a broken wrist, a shattered kneecap, various bumps and bruises.
Yeah.
But I had a broken finger. But the main problem was the shattered kneecap because I couldn't walk. And anyway, those were the biggest problems. But they told me, once we got to Bozeman Hospital, they, taped me all up and put a bunch of, bandages, whatever they call them, braces, the cast. That's the word I'm looking for. Sorry on me. And then I wanted to go find Jade as soon as I found out she was missing. My priority was to get out there and find her. So the next morning, I just said, we got to go find her.
Yeah.
And I kind of self-checked myself out of the hospital. Jade, you stay here. Sorry, we got a dog barking in the background. We're trying to quiet.
That's okay.
And so anyway, the next morning we rented a car because mine had been totaled and left the Bozeman Hospital probably about noon. It's about 10 o'clock that morning, wasn't it? And headed for Yellowstone. Didn't get there till about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It was middle of summertime, middle of July. So we had to wait for people looking at bison and every other kind of wildlife that was out that time of year, So we didn't get to the crash site till about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And one of the rangers said, well, I'll meet you there and she'll probably come out of the woods as soon as you show up. Of course, Laura and I were convinced that's what would happen.
Yeah.
And we got there and met him, and for about 3 or 4 hours that afternoon, we just sat out there and waited and walked around and screamed for her and whistled for her. And no sign of Jade. So we checked into Canyon Village, hotel, couldn't tell you the name, hotel in Canyon Village, and got the next morning and spent the whole day looking for her. And that night, the second night, the Rangers actually closed off that road between Canyon Village and Norris Junction so we could, have some quiet on the road and yell her name. It was a real calm and quiet night that night. And we whistled and yelled her name, and no Jade. And then the next day, I had to go home because I had to go back to work. I run a small business, so I had to go back home and go to work, except I was all busted up. So there was that, too.
Yeah.
So we headed back to Denver, that third day after the wreck? I think so. You canceled your second trip to Jackson.
Yeah.
Checked second judging at Jackson, and we headed home without her. And pretty sad day the day we headed home without her.
Longest 10, 11 hours of our life. Well, second.
Yeah.
The other one was coming home without her on another trip.
Yeah. That's just heartbreaking because you're so far away from this dog you've been taking care of for however long. And
yeah, we live in Denver, so it was, in Yellowstone. So it's about a 10-hour drive.
Yeah, that's hard. I read that and I thought, oh my God, how can you, that would just be heartbreaking to drive away. That's gut-wrenching. So let's pause the story a little bit, and I don't want to give it all away because I want people to read the book. It's a really good book, and there were so many parts that spoke to me, but I really liked the part where the Rangers, I mean, they did everything they could possibly do to find the stuff.
Did.
They really did. And you're talking about, I don't even know, I can't remember how big Yellowstone is. It's huge.
Yeah.
1 million plus acres, I think.
Right. I believe you're right. And Yellowstone's kind of cool because if you haven't been there, it has all these different, I don't know, it's almost like little worlds. It's like you've got this big prairie, you've got mountains, and then you've got that big area that's like the Grand Canyon. You have all this different landscapes, and it's huge, and all the wildlife and stuff like that. What an overwhelming task to think that the dog is lost in that much space and then having to walk away and leave her. But
right in the middle of Yellowstone too. I mean, almost couldn't be any further to the edge. You dead center when this happened.
Yeah. Well, and the crazy part is, being flown to the hospital, you were in another state, in Montana. Bozeman's in Montana. Yellowstone's in Wyoming. It's not like a hospital around the corner. It's hours and hours by ambulance, and it's a big long flight by helicopter as well. So it's totally different than having an accident in the city or anything like that. But before we move on, I wanted to talk about, I know you're very passionate, Laura, about safety in vehicles with dogs. And this is a really good story to demonstrate, hey, what can we do to keep our dogs safer in the car? For sure, having them contained. I agree with you 100%. My dogs don't ride loose in my car. They're always in a crate because they bounce around. They can cause a wreck with jumping on your lap and all this other stuff. And then if a wreck does happen, they're little projectiles. Just like unseat-belted humans can be projectiles.
Exactly. That's exactly true.
And tragically, those airline crates, the airlines dictated that we're supposed to have these specific crates because they're supposedly safer, but those typical airline crates are made of plastic, and I know mine crack real easily around the corners, and I don't really use them for traveling anymore because of that. They just end up, and then if those little screws aren't in the right spot, they could pop open. And so how did yours break? Where did it fail? Which part of the crate failed?
What we can assume is we had a cooler in the back, and with the force of the rack, the cooler slammed into the crate. And so
it shattered.
Yeah, it was shattered.
Oh, it shattered. Okay. Yeah.
It was 25 chunks when we saw it in the car after.
Oh, wow.
We saw the car a couple days later.
Right. They had thrown it.
When the Rangers reached in to get Jade, that's when it all fell apart. So they had the gate open already on the SUV.
Yeah,
so
that was part of why she ran, is because they opened up the gate to let her out, and the crate shattered
behind her.
So she just took off running.
Yeah. Well,
the
other wire crate was fine.
Well, the wire crate. Now there were a bunch of the welding points that had broken.
Right.
It looked like a bowling ball had gone off in the crate, bounced around. So a lot of the prongs were loose and that. So it took damage too, but it was a smaller crate. So
I think it was a better quality crate though.
Yeah.
Because if it was that
plastic.
wire, it was one of those wire crates.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and those wire crates seem to, they can bend and fold and stuff like that, which I don't like, but they don't usually pry. Well, I guess they can bend open, but I highly recommend, researching different crash tested crates for your cars. A lot of people will use, there's Gunner, which is supposedly the most the strongest
Right.
crate. They're kind of bulky, but if you're looking for a safe crate, there's Gunner, there's, I think, Roughland. There's several of them. That I'll put some links of some of the ones that are safety tested in the bottom of the show notes for this. Because I'm the same way. I really think that it's just too much of a risk for when you have an accident, something happening. With Aussies, they don't always go up to strangers. The whole breed standard is reserved with strangers. So if it's normal that she ran off, that's an Aussie thing for her to have run off. That's what they would do.
Well, as you'll read in the book, Bring Jade Home, there were several people that saw her when she was lost, and they even knew, that's the lost dog, Jade, and they'd call her name and whistle at her, and she'd look at him, bark, and then run the other direction.
Right, because she's an Aussie. Yeah.
Well, she's an Aussie, right.
Yep, right. I had one that my dad had a German Shepherd that would run away all the time, and he took a bunch of our pups that were about 6 months old, running with him, this dog, and mine didn't come back. And I remember looking for him for, I think it was close to 30 days. And it wasn't, we were living in a farmland area. And, so he wasn't 10 hours away from here. And I remember, all going through all of that when I was reading this book, and I found him similar to how you found her. It was just that one decision that day, I'm not leaving this spot. I am not leaving this spot, because he was seen the same way. People would see him and call us, and I'd go there and sit there and wait, and then nothing, right? And we put the clothes out in the crate and the food, and I went that one day, and that's reminded me so much of the end of this. I don't want to give away the end of this, how this happened, but I was crying because I was like, I remember that day. I'm not leaving, and sure enough, that's when it happened, and I just thought that was pretty awesome, and I'm so very excited that she was able to make it back. So I don't want to tell the whole story, but what are some things that you want to share about maybe like the relationships you built with the Yellowstone park rangers and how they were involved in that?
Go for it.
Yeah, Kat Brecken is our savior.
Mm-hmm.
She is. Without her, I don't think we would have found her.
Right.
It was a devastating time. We had gotten a call that Jade ate roadkill. And Ranger Dave was a huge part of it too. Yeah, he helped us find her. He felt partially, I think, responsible for her getting out. And we got a call that she ate roadkill. And Dave and I were like, this is about 3 weeks after the wreck. And he said, well, let's go get her. She's probably hungry. She's going to come to us. We were all excited, loaded up the car, put another crate in the car, and go up there. Well, spent about 5 days, and David couldn't even walk. I plopped him on the top of a hill, and I walked up and down with Layla barking. And anyway, a horrible week. Came home without her again.
Yeah, but the Rangers were a big help that time.
Yeah, they were.
I mean, the whole time they were the ones reporting back to us regularly that, hey, there's another sighting where she was.
So anyway, we get home devastated that we're leaving her back up there again. And we get a call in a day or so, and this woman, or the reservation person at Old Faithful Lodge, calls and says, this woman wants to contact you and help you. She's been looking for your dog and said there's no sign of demise. Can she call you? And I said, yes. We have nothing to lose. And so Kat Brecken called us and gave us hope that, she was still out there. And we sent her David's dirty clothing and recorded his voice and sent that to her, and she organized all these volunteers, got it on all the social media posts up there and everything, and just amazing. And a little while, 10 days later or so, we started getting more sightings.
Yeah.
That, she was being seen more toward Canyon Village this time, where the car had been towed. And
she followed the car, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
That's
the most amazing thing, in my opinion, about the whole story is how she found where the car wasn't even there anymore, but she found where it had been, and she started hanging around that spot.
Yeah. Wasn't the car there for a while?
3 weeks.
Like in the parking, yeah. And she knew it was there, and that's where they kept seeing her. And I really like the innovative and creative things that these rangers did to help you. They were extremely dedicated in finding this dog. So Was there ever a point?
Tracks, they put out the dirty clothes. They
Uh-huh.
made all kinds of good suggestions for us. So.
Yeah. I don't want to tell everything because there's some really cool stuff in there.
Oh, I know. We get carried away and tell the whole
I know.
story.
I know,
sometimes.
like, don't tell the whole story. Keep some things back. No, you're doing a good job. The kindness of people. Now we're going through all this COVID
Feels
nonsense and the masks, and people are not people anymore, and we're just these mass zombies walking around, and people are afraid of each other, and they're tattling on each other, and this story just was needed right now. It's needed right now because people were so kind and generous in their time, and they spent so much time looking for this dog, and complete strangers and visitors and stuff to the park would look for the dog. I just thought that was awesome. Was there any point in time between sightings that you were like, yeah, it's over, she's not gonna make it?
Yeah, there were several times. There was one 16-day stretch where no sightings, nobody heard from her, nothing. And I just assumed she was deep in the park someplace, and she must have stumbled back on her trail or scent of herself or scent of the car or something, and she found her way out. But during that 16 days, we kept telling each other back and forth, she's gone. Someone either picked her up or she got eaten.
We were hoping.
She's gone.
You don't want to think that. You just hope somebody picked her up, and maybe she has a new family, and until she gets microchipped. We didn't want to think of the worst.
Yeah.
Right. She was only, 15 months old?
15 months old, right.
She wasn't even 2 years old.
Yeah.
She has a microchip, so if someone found her, we were hoping they would contact us, but
right.
But the problem was she wouldn't come to anybody else.
Right.
She, so even though they saw her, she just was traumatized, and she's an Aussie, as you say. So there was just no way she was coming to anybody else. And that made it that much harder on David and Laura to have to come back up there to try to get her.
Yeah.
So, with Kat leading this group of hundreds of people in a very organized search and rescue, I think that made the difference. They helped kind of corral her where they could finally get David and Laura up there to help find Jade.
And when we were up there book signing a couple summers ago, it was unbelievable how many employees came up to us that we had no idea. And they go, we were out looking for your dog, and we were just overwhelmed.
A lot of people came up to us and just said, well, we see your dog's here. We just wanted to meet her because we heard so much about her during that 6-week period. So
it's a good story.
It is a good story. And I think it's a good story. And Michelle mentioned how organized they were. She detailed out how organized the park rangers attacked this, in a very organized, almost like a missing person search. They used the same tactics and methods on finding this dog. But with her, they were trying to push her to a smaller area to try and corral her, to get her. When they go missing, they revert back to this really feral part of themselves. It's very instinctive and raw animal survival mode. And they're not, they're living out of that mode. And so sometimes it takes a little bit to bring them back out. And I know that kind of happened in the story with her. And that's a good thing that they have that ability to be feral-ish and to survive. But so afterwards, did she bounce right back, or did it take her a while to get back to her normal self? How'd that work?
Well, she was skin and bones when she came back home. So she didn't, the one thing that I've noticed ever since it happened, she doesn't leave my sight. She keeps me in sight all the time. We'll go out on hikes, and I'll, sometimes when we're out where you turn her loose, I'll turn her loose, but she will not leave. She can quarter mile away, but she'll turn and look and turn and look. And that's the one thing I've noticed the most is that she won't leave my sight. And she's a little nervous getting in the car. She doesn't like car rides that much anymore. She'll do it, but she doesn't like it.
Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine that.
And trail snacks. She loves trail snacks, as we call them. But she caught mice, while we were on hikes. It's just a bowl of, the little bowls and stuff that.
Bones?
Bowls, BOLES, the things that crawl around in the ground. Bowls is a
bowls.
Yeah. Bowls. Okay. Well, all right. But a lot of, I mean, she's a mouser. She can catch mice, which, most dogs can't do that.
Yeah.
So she took care of herself for 6 weeks. So
Yeah.
ate a lot of roadkill, I think, though.
Yeah, probably. Lots of animal scat, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I don't know. She's a little meaner than she used to be. But I think that's an Aussie trait, too.
Yeah.
Very protective of me. So
Yes.
I don't know if that's just because she's an Aussie or because of her experience, but
Very loyal.
very, very loyal to me. The most loyal dog I've ever had. And I've had a couple other Aussies, too. So, but she's the most loyal one I've ever had.
Well, she looks like she's come out of the experience pretty well. She's enjoying this camera time, I think.
I know. She's learned to do these pretty well. She thinks, I'm going to get treats if I just sit here and be good. So
I'm quite. Michelle, is there anything else what spoke to you the most about this story? What's the most meaningful part? I know that, when you write stuff, sometimes you have pieces that speak to you.
Obviously, the tail end, which we're not going to talk about in detail. Every time I read it myself, I wrote it, I still cry.
Yeah.
It's just really, it was very hard for me at different times because I had to put myself in their shoes, David's and Laura's, and feel their pain.
Mm-hmm.
But the best part of the book has been the fact that I feel the same thing you mentioned earlier, Jackie, and that I feel like there's hope that people can be kind and do all this for strangers, that they put themselves in David's shoes and Laura's shoes and said, we've got to find their dog. And one of the men, Kevin Torfey, said the reason he did it was because if his dog was lost, he wanted somebody to do it for him. And I think that's the golden rule. And it was so good to interview all these people, as many as I could talk to, and that was the overriding answer. They did it just to be good. And so it's an uplifting story, and it makes me feel good every time I think of what all these people did to find Jade. It's just beautiful.
It is beautiful. And the way a blue-eyed little dog can bring people together is amazing. And we need this now. We need to remember, all we ever hear is negativity in this world, and we need to remember to focus on the positive. There are good people out there, and kind people, and generous people, and most of us are that. So I like that a lot.
Good humanity story at this time when humanity kind of all screwed up right now, in my opinion.
It sure is. It sure is. But if we remember that, we can forget other conflicts that we have with each other if we remember our humanity and stuff. So, David, how have you recovered physically?
Well, I'm a ski fanatic. I love snow skiing, and I guess my skiing days are over because of my shattered kneecap, and I tore my other knee up last year skiing. So, but other than that, I'm in pretty good health. I've recovered from everything except my knee. My knee's my biggest issue.
Yeah.
I have to have a knee replacement someday, but, I don't want to think about that right now. So,
yeah.
But other than that, I'm in good health.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Good. I'm happy to hear that, and happy to hear that, while you were injured the most, that there was no life lost even in this terrible accident as human life lost. So that's awesome. And how about your dog, Layla? She didn't get lost, but was she traumatized from the accident? And how did that work? Because, you were in the hospital did you go get her the next day? How did that work?
Yeah, Layla's a totally different temperament. Yeah, it would have been a short story. It would have been, you want a treat? Yeah, I'm out of here. She's very different. I don't know where she is. But she doesn't seem traumatized at all. We went to pick her up, and she was like, "Hey, how you doing? That was wild.
That was a fun night out. Thanks a lot."
Jumped right back in the crate. Like, I could tell she was probably bruised up a little bit because she was quieter than usual.
Yeah.
But she slept a lot on the way home. But no, she has a totally different personality. They're best buds, though.
They are best buds.
Yeah, and that's really. I can't tell the end of the story, but they're best buds.
Layla played a very large role in the end of the story.
She does. She does play a large
Yes.
role in the end of the story.
But it's pretty funny at book signings. I'll bring Layla in when Jade gets a little tired. And they look at Layla and go, "Is that the lost dog?" I'm like, "No, this is Layla." And they're like, "Where's the lost dog?"
Yeah, we got her.
Wait a minute. Layla was kind of a hero in this story.
No, they don't want to talk to the author. They want to talk to the dog.
They do.
That's
I know.
true.
These amazing animals came up to us and just said, "Can I have a picture of you and your dog and us all standing behind her?" You know, I mean, we took so many pictures that included people I never even heard of or met that had to have a picture with Jade.
But Layla benefits from all of Jade's treats.
Right? Jade shares.
Jade shares.
Right. That's true.
Yep. So, Michelle, what are some new projects on your horizon as an author? Do you have anything in the works?
I do. I'm working on a young reader version.
Of the same story?
Yes, but it's a young reader version that merges the adult version and the picture book.
Okay.
So I tell part of the story in Jade's point of view in each chapter. So that's been really a lot of fun. It's expanding on both of them at some level. And so far the feedback from my writers groups and other people who've read it, like Laura, so far have really enjoyed it and think that it's going to be a really fun book. We're talking about lesson plans. It'll be geared towards ages 9 to 12 reader level. And we're hoping that Jade has already been a subject of book reports. I know that. I get emails from kids that say they've done that. And I'm thinking, because there's an educational aspect to the book, understanding the ecology, Yellowstone, dogs, wild animals, all of that, there's a real opportunity for teaching. And I've had some input from some teachers too already. So maybe next fall when we get back to normal and we have school, the kids will be able to read it and use it in school.
I think that's a great idea. As a former teacher, I think that young adult writing requires the most amount of talent, because I think the best books I've ever read have been youth books, the young adult books, the highest quality, the best stories. So I commend you on that, and I like the lesson plan idea, and I just love it. I think it's a great idea. As a teacher, I would use that totally in my lesson plans.
Yeah, that's what I've been told by teachers who've read the first, Bring Jade Home, and the young version. They're kind of like, this could work really well in that target area. So
yes, it could, and it ties in with your other older books, even your Jack London books, and the dogs, those older books from when I was a kid. I guess before my time even, Big Red, and all those books. They kind of tie together because they have that nature, they have the dogs. I think I've read every book that was written about a dog when I was a kid. So I love it. I love it. I'm so excited about that. So good luck on that. I hope that...
and the other thing is we want to segue that. We would love to see Jade as a movie. We really feel that the movie, we hear it. It's not just us. Our fans tell us, what a great film. In the old Disney versions, the old, the happy ending though,
Yes. What was that Disney thing? It was on Sunday nights, The Wonderful World of Disney. I love that. Remember that?
Yeah.
So great.
Yeah.
So great.
But the scenery at Yellowstone, a beautiful lead dog, handsome couple that was hurt in the accident, and all these other characters, it really would make a great film. So we have fingers crossed. We've had some interest. Little nibbles, we'll see.
Yep. Cool. Exciting. What do you guys think? Do you think Jade can handle the fame?
Yeah. Used to it now. It's funny. The longer this goes on, like I said, she was only 15. She's about 6.5 now. So.
Oh wow. So this happened a few years ago.
Being a star now.
Yeah, she's settled into her stardom, and she's beautiful too, so that helps, right?
Yeah.
Right.
She is a beautiful dog. I love her dearly.
Awesome.
Yes.
Aww.
He knows.
Little schmoozer. That's what those Aussies are, little schmoozers. So
Yeah.
let's see. Anything you want to say to kind of hook the readers in, or anything the readers need to know before they go and buy this book?
Michelle?
I think
Pardon me?
we've said a lot about it. I mean, I just think it's a great story, and
Yeah.
I get feedback from, well, we have feedback on Amazon from over 350 reviews now,
Nice.
and most of them 5 and 4 stars, and that's a big accomplishment.
It is.
It is, and we're getting the same kind of feedback on the children's picture book. It won the Creative Child's Book of the Year 2020 recently.
Have you
so
submitted it
we-
to the Dog Writers of America yet?
Yeah,
Good.
we haven't heard back from them yet, but yeah, our publisher did that. So
Yes.
we expect to see some good results from that. So
Excellent.
so far, I would say I hope you can read it. They're both good.
They are very good. I highly recommend it. True story about an Australian Shepherd. Laura and David, anything you want to talk to the instinctive Australian Shepherd nation about your dog or this experience or what you've learned? A message you want to share?
Love your dog.
Yeah, love your dog, crate your dog, keep them safe. You
Never know what might happen.
Yeah.
Especially if you take your dog with you a lot of places, which
Yeah.
a lot of us do. So
Yes.
Yeah, and about the book that you were asking, you had mentioned it earlier. I think the biggest compliment is they know the ending. I mean, they know it's a happy ending. Jade's here, and the book still makes you cry.
Yes.
You know, it's you. I have so many people. I lost my dog for an hour. I lost my dog for a day, and they have that same feeling of unbelievable. And they have a reunion.
I think we lost the star.
Yeah.
I don't. She got, yeah.
Jade, where are you going? I'm out of here.
I'm waiting for Layla because she played a part in this story too. Where's Layla?
All right, well, here, we'll get
She's
Layla.
sleeping.
She's actually laying on the floor right here beside us, but, you know,
Ah.
with a treat, she'll be up here in a second. You got to come up here. Come up here. Come up here, Layla. Come on. Come on, John.
Layla, there
Get
you
up on
go. All right.
No. There's
You
Layla. Can you sit?
She's not as pretty as Jade.
Oh, she's
Aw.
pretty. I have mostly black tri Aussie, so
Do you?
Do you?
right now
love
I do,
that
yeah.
stuff. They're beautiful.
Yeah,
They
she's
are beautiful.
She is a
And part of the
sweetheart.
reason Jade's so unique is because she only has the black and the white. She doesn't have much.
Doesn't
Has
have
no
any
copper
copper.
at all
Yep.
on her. None at all. So
Yep.
she's only like 10% of them are complete just
Black
bi.
buys. Yep. hmm
Black buys.
Yep. Black
Yeah.
buys. Yep. I also tell people the reason I keep black tries is that when I get a new dog, my husband won't notice because they're all the same color.
I like that. I need to use that.
That's a good. No,
Do you-
it's very bad. No.
Wait, that one's shorter. Don't look at that one.
Yeah, really. Just rotate them in and out.
Yeah.
There's a door.
Yeah.
Guys, it was really, really enjoyable talking to you. I don't want to talk anymore about the book because I want everybody to go out and buy the book. Definitely go out and buy it, y'all. It's worth watching. It's hard. I like stories that I know are going to have happy ending. I'm not a big one. Like, I don't watch Titanic because I already know how it's going to end. So I don't really want to see that. But this story we know has a happy ending. It's backwards, but you can tell. So everybody go ahead and buy the book. And if the children's book is written in such a way that it's super engaging for kids, there's no really scariness or anything about it. It's all real positive. I kind of like how you did that the book showed that, yeah, she was probably scared, but it didn't make you nervous or anything, like kids shouldn't be traumatized by that. But they also learn how that she probably survived. And pretty much what you wrote is probably, yeah, you can pretty much believe that's what happened.
No, don't be jealous. Don't be
Excuse me.
jealous.
So does Jade have a website? Do you have a Facebook group? Where do you want people to go?
We have a website, www.bringjadehome.com, and you can buy the book at Amazon, both books at Amazon. Also, Barnes & Noble, may have to order it from them, but they are stocking some. Costco's carried the books in the past. I think those are the major areas. Can you guys think of anything else? No? That's about it.
Well, I'd like to make one correction. Just at the very beginning, I heard Jackie say that it was Bring Home Jade or something, but it's actually Bring Jade Home.
Oh, sorry.
And
Bring Jade Home.
Yellowstone, or Jade Lost in Yellowstone, the title of the two books. Just wanted to make that one.
They won't let me rename the book. Am I allowed to say my title?
No.
No.
You can edit Bring the Bitch Home. No. They won't let me rename the book.
That's the 2020 title?
Yeah, thank you.
Young reader version. That'll be real nice, won't it?
That's her gangster title?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So, do you guys still do book signings, or how does that work?
We do.
Okay, so if somebody wanted to have a book signing, they could call the publisher and say, hey, we would like to have a book signing, or you guys just show up, or what is that?
Well, I think you got to set it up to the publisher, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I think that's FarCountry Press. Since we live in Colorado, we would have to travel there, so we need to make sure that it's, a legitimate book signing.
Yeah.
Where are you going?
Cool.
The pandemic has put a cramp on everybody's style. We've been to Yellowstone signing. David and Laura have been there several times, and usually we make arrangements with the park itself to say that we're coming, and they have the books and the whole bit, and the publisher works with us and sets up other things. But with the pandemic, we unfortunately have to wait till, we hope, next year when things are better, and then we plan to go back out west and do a tour and do some more signing. I live in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, and I do the same kinds of things. I go around to the libraries, and I have a stuffed dog that looks like Jade, and that's where I bring along. She's quiet.
You have to walk her.
There she is.
There it is.
There it is. Yeah, we got one.
They have one too.
All right. Jade is cuter.
Yeah.
I think Jade is cute.
Yes, she is.
Did you have that made custom, or is it just something you ran across?
We bought it online at Melissa and Doug Make It.
Okay.
It's a border collie, and I did not dock her tail. I couldn't bear to cut her, so she's got a tail and Jade does not. So
Oh, Jade is
But we colored the little spot on her nose so it looked like her.
yeah, and I painted her eyes blue with iridescent.
Yeah, that's right. It didn't come with blue eyes. I forgot about that.
Yes.
And then blue collar. So she's her body double. What can I say?
Yeah, Jade does have that beauty mark on her muzzle there, that kind of Marilyn Monroe looking beauty mark, right?
Yeah, I was going to name her Marilyn, or Manson, but I thought everybody like Marilyn.
That's the wrong Marilyn.
Yeah.
He was not cute.
Or Monroe. Monroe would have been a good name, but that sounds like a boy's name.
Yes. I have a boy named Wyatt who has a beauty mark like that right there on his muzzle too. So,
Cool.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you contributing to the podcast, and we'll look at this video and possibly put it on our YouTube channel as well, if that's all right with you guys. And Australian Shepherd Nation, Instinctive Aussie people, go ahead and get online to Amazon and buy the book and read it. It's really worth it, and it's super cool to support this book and what they're doing with this. So, and make sure, guys, you crate your dogs in your cars in a nice, safe crate. Check out crates that have safety ratings. Watch the videos. Make sure you know what you're getting, and put your dogs in crates. That's the safest place for them to be, in a solid crate. So we can hopefully not have this happen to anyone else. Even though your dogs were crated, that stuff just happens sometimes, So, all right, everybody. Thank you so much. I'm so glad it had a happy ending. I'm so glad y'all are doing well, and I wish you the very best.
Thank you, Jackie.
Thank you. Have a good night. Hey, and that's the show today. Thanks for joining me. I hope you really enjoyed it and got to learn something about this amazing breed, the Australian Shepherd. Join us on Facebook. We have a private group called The Instinctive Australian Shepherd. Join the group and join the conversation there. You can also find us online at theinstinctiveaussie.com. That's where you'll find all the show notes, the links to anything we talked about this show, and all of our past episodes. Subscribe to this podcast on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever else you find your favorite podcasts, and that way you'll be the first ones to know as soon as an episode is uploaded. All right, everyone, I'll see you down the road.